Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the 10 hardest mind tricks ever. So these mind tricks are basically made to make you look stupid, or to confuse you and sometimes even guess what you're thinking. And you guys can trick all of your friends with these. So definitely watch to the end of this video because there's some things on here which are the most insane thing I've ever seen. And don't forget, drop a like if you enjoy. Let's aim for 6,000 likes on this video because it really does help me out. So coming in at number 10, we have number trick. So for this one, I need you to do something, but it's really easy and it's only 4 steps. So first, work out 1 plus 1, which is 2, then 2 plus 2, which is 4, then 8 plus 8, which is 16, and now name a vegetable. So I'll give you guys a second to name your vegetable. And I'm gonna guess that you guys thought of carrot. I know guys, this one is so insane, and if you didn't think of carrot, then you're very unusual because 90% of people do. And scientists have been trying to work out why, and they think it has something to do with carrot being a 6-letter word, because the last number was 16 and that ends in a 6. Or maybe it's just because carrots are the most obvious vegetable, but who knows. And this trick totally got me and blew my mind when I first heard it, so definitely leave a comment saying which vegetable you thought of. So next up we have triangle. So I need you guys to do something for this one too. All you need to do is read out the text inside this triangle. So I'm gonna give you a second to do that. And I'm sure you guys read Paris in the spring, right? Well, go ahead and read it again. Did it still say that? Well, then wake up, because if you look closely, it says Paris in the spring. And I bet you guys didn't even notice the second the, because I didn't, even after I read each word like 4 different times. And this was actually made by a professor of cognition psychology, which is basically about how our knowledge can make us more dumb. So for example, we know it should be Paris in the spring, so we just automatically correct it in our mind, but actually that makes us less observant. And only around 4% of people get this first time, so if you did get this, then you're a really observant person. So well done. So next up we have insane instructions. So you guys do have to do quite a few instructions for this one, but trust me, it's so worth it. Because this one is probably one of the craziest ones on this entire list. So pick a number between 2 and 8, I'm gonna choose 6, then multiply it by 9, so that's 54, and then you should have 2 digits, so add them together, so 5 plus 4 making 9, then subtract 5, so that's gonna leave us with 4, and then pick a letter to go with your number, so I'm gonna choose D, and then think of a country that starts with that letter, so I'm gonna say Denmark, and then think of an animal starting with the letter of the country, so an animal starting with K, so I'm gonna say kangaroo. And now think of a color starting with the last letter of the animal, so that's O, I'm gonna go with orange. And if you guys chose the same thing as me or something different, then I bet you guys got the answer of an orange kangaroo in Denmark. And I had to put this one on this list because of how accurate and specific this is. Like, I have no idea how this works or how insane you have to be to come up with something like this. And if this didn't work for you, then that's really weird because only 2% of people aren't affected by this. So try this on a friend or family member and you can blow their mind, because my mind is definitely blown right now. So next up we have rude or not. So I'm sure you guys have seen this already on Twitter or Facebook before, and this one is so old, but it gets me every single time. And I guess you could say this is kind of like a dirty-minded test. So when you look at this photo, you probably read I have a big dick, but really it says I have a dig bick. But because we all sort of have a dirty mind, and our minds notice shocking and offensive stuff a lot more than normal stuff, so we instantly think it says something rude. And because our minds automatically want to make sense of things, kind of like Paris in the spring from before, then it just automatically works it out. But that's not the only mind trick in this photo, because underneath that it says you read that wrong, but under that it says you read that wrong too, because it says above it you that read wrong. So again, they tricked you. And even the one underneath that is wrong because you probably read that awkward moment when you say something wrong, but really the word moment is left out. I mean shit, they just tricked us like 4 times in a row. The only thing about this one which isn't a trick is the last line that says this is awkward. And yeah guys, let me know if you have a dirty mind or if you just got tricked. And if you didn't get tricked by this, then well done, because 96% of people do. So next up we have how many F's. So this one is so simple and it makes you feel really dumb if you don't get it. So all you have to do here is answer how many F's are in this sentence, which says finished files are a result of scientific study combined with the experience of years. So most people count 2 F's because of the 2 words here, or maybe 3 because they see the F in scientific, but some people don't see that F because the word gets cut off here. But there's actually 6 F's because of the 3 ofs which are in the sentence. And the reason most people don't get this really obvious one is because they don't notice the F's in of. Because it's such a small and unimportant word, we don't even notice it. Aw, now I feel kind of bad for of. But yeah, this one is a cool mind trick, and if you didn't get caught out by this one, then well done, but don't get too happy, because only around 70% of people get caught out by this, so even though you're better than most people, it's not as hard as some of the ones before. So coming up next, we have what number comes next. So this one is a really cool number mind trick, and all you have to do is read out these numbers, so that's 6, 11, 17, and 28, and then say what number should come next. So I'm going to give you a second to say your number. And I bet most of you got 45, and that's because the number before always adds up to the next number in the sequence. For example, 6 plus 11 makes 17, and then 17 plus 11 makes 28. So it's like your mind subconsciously adds up the numbers. So this one basically shows how quickly your mind can think without you even making it. So unlike all the others, this one kind of makes you feel smart instead of dumb and confused. And this number sequence can go on forever, as you can see here, but most people don't say it right after 45, so I just did it up to that point. And around 80% of people say 45, and almost everyone does this subconsciously, so who knows, maybe we're all secretly great at math. And I say secretly because I know I'm not good in real life. So coming up next, we have number predicting. So this is another number trick, and this one isn't so much of a mind trick, but more of a visual trick, but you can still fool a ton of people with this. So all you need to do is pick any number and then follow the line to the number on the opposite side, and then take your two numbers and subtract the small one from the big one, and I bet the answer you get is 6. So I'm going to choose 8, and then that goes to 2, so 8 minus 2 is 6. But there's a catch, because this has been made so smartly, it means that any combination you choose, you'll always get 6. For example, if I take 12 and that goes to 6, then 12 minus 6 is 6. So yeah, the answer is guaranteed to be 6 every time, but that doesn't stop you from fooling a ton of people with this. And because all you need for this trick is a circle with 12 numbers in it, you can use any clock. And the guy who worked out that clocks do this must have been really smart, because I had no idea that clocks did this before. And before you guys start commenting saying you didn't get 6, well, you can't, because that's a lie. So don't even try that shit. So next up, we have memorize names. So this is a memory test which 90% of people get wrong. So it shows 6 people here and their names. So I'm gonna give you a second. And now here's the test. Can you remember the names of these 3 people? And no going back to check, that's cheating. So it turns out that only 4% of people can actually get this right, and the correct answer is Ryan, Ted, and Bill. And that's because these are the least memorable ones on here, because the other ones stand out in some way. For example, the red ones are an eye-catching color, and Ben, the other yellow one, is to the left. So yeah, it just goes to show that boring people don't stand out even in cartoon form. But yeah guys, don't feel too bad for Ryan, Ted, and Bill, because they made a lot of people seem really dumb, including me, because I didn't get this when I first tried it, but comment if you did. So next up we have duck or rabbit. So this is a really cool visual mind trick, and you're definitely going to get into a lot of arguments if you show this to your family and friends, and I'll explain why right now. So when you look at this image from this way, then you probably see a duck, right? And there you have it, it was a duck. Nah, I'm just kidding guys, of course there's more, because if you look at it this way, you'll probably see a rabbit, because the eye is the same on each side, but the duck's beak can also be rabbit ears depending on what side you look at. And I know I told you that both animals are in the image, but some people don't know, and they only look at it from one way. And yeah, this image can cause a ton of arguments, and it has done for over 100 years, because it was made in 1899 by an American psychologist called Joseph Jastrow, and basically it was to test people's mental ability. So let me know if you guys saw both animals or just one, even though I probably already did ruin it for you by telling you so soon. Sorry. And coming up last on this list, we have black dots. So this is a really crazy optical illusion, and it really messes with your eyes. Like, you know when you wake up and everything's blurry, it's basically like that. And it's so simple, all you have to do is count the black dots. So how many can you guys count? Well, you should have got 35. And there's actually no way to do this with your eyes, because over time when you look at the white dot, all of the other dots will go white except the one you're looking at. So yeah, this is a crazy illusion, and the only way to get the answer is to either guess or multiply 7 by 5. And this one really made my eyes hurt, because I tried to do this by counting, and the reason it messes with your eyes is because of the surrounding white squares and the grey grid create a contrast, and then your eyes think the contrast should be in the dots as well. So it's basically a mind trick which also tricks your eyes. And this is based off another more simple illusion that's been around for over 100 years, and the answer to that one is 35 too. So yeah, this has been so cool to check out all these mind tricks, and that just about wraps up this video. Check out the poll in the top right corner, and you guys can vote for the coolest mind trick. For me, it's the carrot one, just because that blew my mind. I mean, it seriously feels like whoever made that was literally inside my head. Or maybe I'm just going insane. And guys, just before I completely end off in this video, I just want to quickly say follow me on Twitter at CharlieTop10s. It'll be on screen right now, and yes guys, I do reply to DMs, messages, and all of that stuff, and I also do follow you guys back. And you guys have been sending me a ton of really nice messages and even fan art and stuff, which is so crazy, and I will be shouting you guys out soon. So yeah guys, follow my Twitter ASAP at CharlieTop10s. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out some more videos on screen now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.